Well, hi and welcome to my beautiful office. I have something exciting to share with you. Well, exciting for me anyway. I managed to get onto Jacinta Parsons' radio program on the ABC. Now, first I have some waffle to go on with, just to sort of tell you how it led up to this event of me going on there. Alright, so at the start of the year I had a weird virus. I had lack of energy, very tired and very, very forgetful, to the point where it scared me really bad. Like I thought I was getting dementia. That's how bad it got. I actually left my $700 tripod out here in the reserve. So as I'm going out of the reserve, I put my bag on this log to put my camera gear away, and I leant it up against it. That's what I believe I've done anyway. And then I've put my backpack on with my back to it, obviously, and kept walking. It took me 2 days to work out that it was missing. So when I've come back, retrace my steps, it's gone. I can't find it. Yeah, so it really frightened me pretty badly. And the outcome of that was, after 3 weeks of it slowly fading away and me realising that it was probably a virus, was that it left me without much imagination or any will to create. So the result of that is that my documentary just hasn't been touched since then. Yeah, and I'm just waiting for my creativity and all that to spark back up again and come back. No, I also, feeling of a second midlife crisis came on, affected how I felt about my job, because things changed just before Christmas with that. Some things happened, some events that led me to being very unhappy about working there anymore. So 4 weeks ago I handed my notice in and walked away from my job. Now on the way home I'm thinking, I want my life to be really excited. I don't want to just be going through life anymore. I want to do some exciting things, especially this year. Things that really, get me revved up. And one of those things would have to be work. Being able to find a job that is really exciting and fun to do. So that's what I'm doing at the minute. But on that way home, on that last day of work, I was listening to the ABC radio, Jacinta Parsons' program, and she's talking to the Birdman on a Thursday. And I thought, that's exciting. That's something really exciting to do. Go on the radio. So when I got home, I emailed them, told them all about that I'm a self-taught naturalist and I studied the Agile Antechinus for 11 years, blah blah blah, and didn't hear anything since then. There was no reply, and then out of the blue, yesterday 10 o'clock, I get an email, please contact us. So I rang them straight away, and John from the program said, would I like to come on today? And I thought, I'm not prepared. I'm not prepared for this. I said to him that, bit worried about what to say. I'll have to write some things down. He goes, no, you'll be right. And I'm thinking, if I say no, they may never contact me again. So I said yes. And, oh wow. My heart was nearly pumping out of my chest all day until I went on that program at just after 3 o'clock. But anyway, enough waffling. That was the lead up. Here is my talk on the radio about the Agile Antechinus.
Story. 17 minutes past 3 in just a moment. Can't wait. Derek Hilton's going to join us. Self-taught naturalist who has been studying, photographing, filming the Agile Antechinus for more than a decade, and he's just going to talk to us about it in just a moment.
You're with Jacinta Parsons on ABC Radio Melbourne.
It reminds me too, if you have a passion that you want to share with us, I am so deep into this. I'm excited. Derek Hilton has been loving the Antechinus, from a distance, from a perspective of a naturalist now for over a decade. And he joins us this afternoon just to shoot the breeze. Derek, good afternoon.
Hello, Jacinta, and thank you very much for this opportunity to talk about my passion.
I love it, Derek. I've watched your videos on YouTube and they're fantastic. You've got heaps of followers. If people want to get on and see some of the work that you do, they just need to type in your name into YouTube and they can see some of the work. It's beautiful. Tell me, I've got to ask you about poo, but I'm only going to ask you about poo later on because you heard that.
I laughed my head off. I thought, okay, we have to answer that one pretty quickly.
We do, but not yet. I want them to know more about the Antechinus without getting their poo hit too early in the conversation. Derek Hilton, why and how did you first encounter the Antechinus? I guess the first encounter and then why it became a passion for you.
There's a reserve at the back of my place. Been walking through it for about 30 years, photographing, studying birds. All of a sudden, it comes across in front of me on the track. We had a moment looking at each other, and we both, I reckon, came out with the same outcome. What the hell was that?
I thought he might have fallen in love with you as much as you fell in love with him. You never know, Derek. He might be doing a study of you right now on an Antechinus radio station somewhere.
I have fallen in love with a few of them because I followed them for a few years, different females and stuff. So, yeah. But, yes, it was just an event you hope would happen to you. You'd find something that you could find to study and call your own.
It's a beautiful thing. I love that. That's been something, just an encounter. And then you're like, you know what? I can really do some work here and find out a lot about them. How much did you know about the Antechinus before that fateful eyeball locking moment 10 years ago?
Nothing. I didn't even know they existed. And that's what started it, really. I went home, looked on the internet. It was a brief, once I'd worked out that it was a marsupial, then there was very little information on it. So I thought, well, the only way I'm going to learn is to find it again. It took about 3 weeks to get another sighting, and I sat in that spot for 2 years. Very, very little, just quick sightings.
Wow.
And it was only until Melbourne Waters cleared a whole heap of blackberries away from a part of the creek that I went in to investigate, and all of a sudden I was surrounded by these juvenile males. And the first one I saw, it was grey, and then there's another one beside me all of a sudden that was a different colour, and then another one behind me, it was another colour as well. And I thought, I'm already learning straight away. The difference in the colours of their fur was quite a dramatic and obvious thing that I saw straight away.
As someone who's like teaching themselves this stuff, because I just think, I don't know anything, so therefore I'll just go away. And the fact that you've observed that, then what do you do with that information? How do you find out more about that? Did you just keep watching and learning, or did you go and research something?
No, I made myself comfortable in that spot for about 5 months. I followed these 6 males that lived in that area. Didn't know where they were living, but I knew that was the centre spot where I was. I just didn't interact with them. I just sat there. They accepted me very quickly. The only thing I did do to help to attract them to this particular spot so I could actually photograph them and document by filming as well was a little bit of honey. I found they liked that. So that helped to bring them back to the same spot, and then I got to learn the individual characters because they're very much individual with strong personality.
Really?
There's
You would get to know the females more than the males because, from what I understand from your videos and you know, learning from you, the males die soon after mating.
Yeah, they're people. You know, you hear a lot about that they mate to death, and it's not really that. It's the fact that chemicals flood their bodies, and that's what drives them on to have sex and, you know, to mate. But the chemicals get such a high level, testosterone and some other chemical, that it causes hemorrhaging in the tissue. So that's what kills them in the end. And that's what I have. The only real information I've ever found online was from some documented scientific study of them in a laboratory.
Wow. And so your contribution is something that the scientific world would be very grateful for. Do you know what we have to do before we go any further, though, Derek Hilton? Nell in Ballarat and Jackie and Rosanna said, I've never heard of this word, JP. What is this creature? Nell wants to know what it is. How do you even spell it? Can you give us like the very basic understanding of an Antechinus?
Well, it's a carnivorous marsupial. It's a little bit bigger than a mouse. It has a much longer jawline, so their snout's longer than a mouse, and you could quite obviously see if you get a bit more of a quick glimpse of it. It has very sharp teeth, so you can see that it's an insect eater. It has bat-like ears, so they're much bigger than what a mouse would be. Their colour of their pellet is, their fur is similar to a colour of a mouse. But their size is a lot bigger, and they're a lot more confident look about themselves. They don't scurry around and want to hide like a mouse does. They're very much very confident in themselves. Most of them are.
That sounds wonderful. You're replicating what people are. We have got so many texts, Derek, coming through about the Antechinus. And I've got a call here for you as well from Laurel in central Victoria. Laurel, are you a fan as well?
Oh, hi, Jacinta. I've been a fan ever since I found one in my kitchen, sitting in my kitchen compost, blissfully eating eating some manky cheese. And at first I thought it was a mouse, and I went, "You cheeky thing!" And he just looked at me and smiled. I mean, if an Antechinus can smile, and he closed his eyes, and he was in complete bliss eating this bit of leftover cheese in my compost. It was just delightful, and he was there for about 2 or 3 weeks, along with the tree frog on the utensils, and I seem to have become a bit of a sanctuary for small wildlife.
Funny. And Laurel and Derek, that sounds exactly as you'd described them, in that they aren't as skittish as mice or rats.
Yeah, they will come into your house if you're adjacent to a lot of bushland, but you'll notice pretty quickly that they are a lot different than a mouse. They bound like a possum when they run. They don't scamper. They can be quite cheeky. They'll get into your food stuff, given half the chance.
Laurel, I love it. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I've loved it too.
So good. I'm very impressed. I would freak out, I think. Laurel joining us there talking about the Antechinus. The Agile Antechinus is brought to us today by Derek Hilton. Derek, I could seriously talk to you for another half hour. I love that you got in touch with us to share some of your insights into this beautiful, it's a marsupial.
Yes.
Yes, of course it is. I'm an idiot.
Definitely a marsupial.
I'm an idiot, Derek. Don't worry about me.
We could talk for hours and hours about them. I have quite a wealth of knowledge, and I'm pretty sure there's a few things that I might know more than what science knows.
Hey, Derek, I'm going to be cheeky here and say, why don't you come back in a couple of weeks and talk to us more about the Agile Antechinus?
I would love to be on every week if you want.
Maybe we should have the Antechinus segment where Derek Hilton just tells us about the Antechinus. We've got so many text messages enjoying your information. So thank you so much. Jump on to your YouTube. Is that the best way, or have you got a website or something as well?
No, just very basic at the minute.
We've got RAF coming up right now, but Derek, we didn't talk about the poo.
No, we need to talk about the poo.
You know what, Derek? Hold it. I'm going to get you to come back on the show to talk to us about Antechinus poo. It can be the whole subject of your next visit to us. Do you agree?
No worries.
Helen of Elphingston here. Oh, my gosh. Laurel of Central Victoria is her friend. Thank goodness she stayed around to listen.
Well, that's it. It was so exciting. I never perform the way I want when I go and do these sort of things. But I had a bit of fun. I tried to relax and just, go with the flow. And I'll give myself probably a 6 out of 10. But will improve because, yes, they invited me to come back again. How awesome is that? Would love for it to continue and spread the word about this beautiful carnivorous marsupial, the Agile Antechinus. That's all I've got for you for today. If you'd like to subscribe to my channel and get more of this amazing stuff, click on my pretty little face that's down in the bottom right hand corner of the screen. Hit the little bell. You'll get notification whenever I do anything else. And if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. It'd be awesome. Help my poor little channel grow, and boy, does it need it. And if you want to go and have a look at all the other mad and crazy things I've been doing in the past, click on my icon right here at the end of this video. Take it to my channel. I talk about photographing and filming in a forest environment, my passion, the Agile Antechinus. I go on adventures, I take you with me. I also talk about the camera equipment that I buy and give you my honest opinion on. So go and have a browse. There'll be something there of interest to you, I am sure. And just remember, if you don't do, you don't get. So get out there and start photographing and filming wildlife. And I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.